All right, what's up? What's going on, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers? Yo, how everything sounding? How everything looking? What's up, chat? I know it's been a while. It's been a little bit since my last content. What's up, Caleb? Call me Jay. What's good? Logical nonsense. Jubar, what's up? Sam, what's poppin'? MC Leonidas. All right, well, let's get it up. Let's get it going. All right, hit the like button if you don't mind. Retweet this out. Let people know. Let's get the party started. You know what I'm saying? My last week here in Germany. My last week here in Europe. Yo, Lay was good. J Hart was popping. Brent Bradford. Yeah, you guys, Simplify Heath. What's going on? The Wreck. What up, Sean Benjamin? How's everything? You guys get your YouTube notifications when I go live? Does that happen? I know for some people that's been messing up, and some people don't get notifications to the people they subscribe. Y'all been getting that? Are you when you see me go live, does a notification pop up? I don't know. YouTube be doing some weird stuff, man. You would think, right? Let me see what we got here. Got. All right, cool. Yo, Chris Righteous was good. All right, awesome. Thank you. Perk, what's up? Lex Perez, Sam Ash. Yo, everybody's got it. Cool. I'm glad. Yeah, because I know YouTube be doing some weird stuff. I know some people apparently when they go live, nobody gets notifications and stuff. So I was nervous that was happening to me. Okay, I get sometimes, but not others. Damn. All right, that's why I always try to push it out on Twitter and stuff like that. If you could hit up, do me that solid, push this out to your collective groups. I would truly appreciate it. Yeah, finally going home. Heading to Cali though. Things aren't looking so good out there due to COVID. Things looking real spooky. Might be a challenge. I guess when I drop there, get a challenge because I have to get try to find an apartment and all that stuff. And then the little stuff, set up the electric, get my furniture moved in. What else? Get cable, internet. That's huge. Try to get the cable company, A lot of them are on the COVID rules and stuff like that. Only working certain days. What else? P-Rock, you seen those PS5 mock-ups? Mock-ups a while. The console? All right. Oh, J-Hart. So you got it on your phone, but not on the actual YouTube on your computer? That's weird. SS9 was good. Was popping. Thanks for rocking out. Thanks for showing up, fellas. Thanks for showing up, everybody. All right. If you could retweet this out. I know it's spur of the moment. Once I get to California and I settled in, get the internet up, I'll make sure I'll get everything on a consistent basis, on a more scheduled basis, same day, same time. So that way everybody will know that, hey, even notification or not, when to pop in and show up and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think that's important for a channel to grow or a specific content to grow, especially a podcast. It has to be consistent, same time, same bad place. You know what I'm saying? And that way people know and just show up and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, and I know things been crazy for me out here in Europe with the time difference and all that. But, I did what I could based on the given situation. But once I get back to the U.S. and I'm in Cali, you know what I'm saying? We'll be all right. We're going to be doing our thing, all right? Ice Queen Gaming, what's up? How you doing, girl? Thank you for showing up. If you can rock out and hit that like button and definitely, put that on Twitter. Please do me that solid. Let people know to rock out and we're going to kick it. But just to let you know, this is my last week in Germany. I've been here for a little over 2 years. Been a fun time, been a great time. There's a few things I wish I could have done, but my job and timing, one of my main things I really wanted to do was go to Gamescom, which is right here in Germany. The place is about 2 hours away. But because of when they host it, which is in August, every time in August during that time period, something important happened in my job, and that takes priority. So that's one thing. That's one thing as a gamer definitely I missed out on that I really wished I was able to do it, but my profession takes priority. So I wasn't able to do it, and it's one of those things like I'm so close, because Cologne, Germany, it's like about 2 hours away. It's like literally right there. It's as they say, it's a stone's throw away. I'm like, man, but it is what it is. Gotta move on, gotta push forward. I'll be moving to California, so I'll be about an hour away from LA. So hopefully if E3 comes back, I might attend that. If we even get an E3, depending. I mean, it kind of sucks the direction of E3. Today, what's up? Thank you for sharing it. Ice Queen Gaming, thank you so much for sharing it on your Twitter. I appreciate it. Cold Blood was good. But yeah, I'll be in LA. I mean, I'll be in California, about an hour away from LA, closer to San Diego, actually. Hopefully, over the next couple of months, we could get past the coronavirus. We finally be able to beat this, and America can open back up fully with no threat of resurgence from the COVID. And then hopefully, next year, E3 shows up. I'm going to try to hit up San Diego Comic-Con, those things. I would like to try to enjoy those things out in California, among other things, all the things California has to offer. I'm going to definitely live it up. Captain Crunch, who was good. Thank you for showing up. I'm going to definitely live it up. I'm going to enjoy my time. But to you guys and the effects of the channel, there's a couple of things I obviously want to do. Got to get settled in to my new place. Obviously get the internet right. Going to try to get the best internet available that the complex or wherever I live offers. You know what I'm saying? Eventually I'll upgrade my, instead of the laptop I'm using now, I'll get a desktop, a nice good desktop that will dub as both a gaming platform, and I'll use it for YouTube streaming content and stuff like that. So you'll get better quality. You'll get better quality resolution. This time I'll be able to fully stream 1080p, give you guys something nice and stuff like that. Invest more into my mic game and stuff like that. I'll try to make, try to do a lot of things to make this channel more appealing and stuff. Get some better quality videos. And then, of course, the podcast, because I know that's what you guys enjoy. Garuda, what's up? JS, what's up? I know you guys enjoy the conversations we all have with J-Dub all day, Jay Barry, Craig Harris, crazy ass, right? Call me Jay. I can help you with the technical setup. No doubt. I'll hit you up, man, and we'll get this right. We'll get this right for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Especially, since this is one of the few podcasts that, calls out the bullshit on what a lot of people say about PlayStation. I'm like, God damn, they say some obvious dumb stuff about the brand that makes no sense. And it's just to get away with it, you know what I'm saying? So you guys deserve a podcast that can at least preach a little bit of truth. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, right? That's not too much to ask for, right? And stuff like that. But yeah, I hope we're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it better. We're gonna go back to it. Now back to the United States. I feel bad for the European audience. I know some of you loved it. That was able to host it at this time. And I wish there was a better balance, but there isn't. It's just crazy how that time difference between the two regions and that everything's geared towards more American-based time than European-based time. It's crazy. I feel, I find it, European streamers, guys who try to do YouTube and stuff, you guys have a hard job. It's really difficult to grow, And that's probably why I see I've seen some European YouTubers and stuff like that. They mostly focus in their region, Spanish YouTubers mostly focus on Spain, German YouTube mostly focus on Germany. I can see why they try to focus growth in their own regions, vice worldwide, because it's not easy for them. It's real crazy and stuff like that, right? But we got 60 guys up in here. Truly appreciate it, especially something for last minute. But while you're rocking out here, again, if you're new, welcome aboard. I appreciate it. And if you've been rocking with me for a while, you know the deal. Hit that like button. Please, make this channel appealing. And, of course, hit that out to Twitter. So now we're gonna do this. We're gonna hit the first topic, right? Let's hit the first topic, and then there's gonna be a Q&A. So get your questions. I'll do that too. Q&A session. But we're gonna hit up. Let's get that $70 going. Let's get that $70 next gen debate. $70. Oh shit. So let's talk. Let's get a couple of things out the way, right? Most of us as hardcore gamers, yeah, we'll pay the $70 because we love gaming, and if there's a game we want to play, we're gonna pay the price to play it. All right, that's what we do. That's what we do as gamers, right? We're the hardcore. We love this hobby. For most of us, it's the number one hobby. Like me personally, I prefer gaming than watching movies or TV shows. That's why I do more gaming than watch more TV shows. You know what I'm saying? If I watch a TV show, like binge, it has to be a really good TV show because I'm binging away from playing games. So for me, gaming's the number one entertainment hobby. I will choose gaming over, for myself, watching a movie myself or watching a TV show myself. Of course, I'll go to a movie theater with my wife, but that's because it's a combination of movie, but more importantly, date night with my wife. That's really what's about. It's not so much about the movie itself, but so much as I'm able to just do things with my wife, obviously among other things besides movies, but that's one of the many things, right? So obviously for all of us, especially if gaming is your number one hobby, yeah, $70, $75, $80, we will pay it, right? And then from our perspective, we'll look at other gamers who are complaining, and then we try to explain to them, the cost of development. If you want better graphics, better physics, Ghostface, watch. I was scared. Oh, that means you saw it though, right? But watch the two last of his review if you didn't. But better graphics, better physics is just overall improvement and just better games, right? So we understand, as technology gets better, which allows games to have, better capabilities and stuff. We understand that costs money, right? Among time and manpower, right? But understand this. Gaming has become a very mainstream form of entertainment that's even bigger than movies and music, right? It's bigger than movies and music. I think it's bigger than movie and music combined, right? When you're that big, that means you attracted a lot. And I mean a lot of casuals, right? And I'm not trying to use casuals as an insulting term. It's just the best way to describe them. But you attracted a lot of casuals that don't fundamentally understand game development or how games are made or how difficult and challenging and expensive it could be. They don't know, and they don't care to know. They only see that individual product and what they're going to get out of it, right? And the more expensive you make that product, in this case games, the higher the standards they're going to have. Hell, even for us as hardcore, we're going to have a higher standard if the average game is $70. We're going to look at games with more critique. At the hardcore level, it's going to be deeper than what the casual do. At the hardcore level, we're going to look at frames. We're going to look at glitches. We're going to see reviews. Is the game broken? Is it microtransactions heavy? We're really going to hold these games to the fire. The casuals, they're going to look at, is it something more that they could constantly enjoy? That's the reason why games like Madden, 2K, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto Online sell so much over and over and over and over, right? Because a lot of casuals, they see the value in being able to play a game in a sustained longer period as compared to playing games where there's a finite amount of time and then it's over. Hardcore gamers, we're cool with that because we treasure the experience, we treasure the technology, the capabilities that developers do and stuff like that, the story. So we enjoy that limited play time. And and for some of us, it's the best experience we will ever have, right? As compared to maybe a redundant multiplayer game that you do the same thing over and over and over, which is capture the flag, team deathmatch, yada, 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 free for all, regurgitated stuff, right? But the casuals, not so much, because one part, casuals don't play a lot of games, right? So the games that they do play, they may want to go into something that they really, really, really like Spider-Man, or something that's really, really well known, like Super Mario Brothers, Halo, Call of Duty, or go for something that has multiplayer and they know they can play for a long time, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Madden, 2K, you know? With this $70, there's potential that the price will, what's the best word I could put it? The price could cause more gamers not to be day one buyers, if you know what I mean, right? You know, so at $70, they could be like, I'll wait for price drops. They'll buy the game, but they're just not going to pay $70, right? So now you could potentially see less games hitting those big metrics that other big games did during this gen, such as 3 million in 2 days, 3 million in 3 days, 4 million in 2 days, you know, a multi-plat 7 millions in a week, you know, all those numbers. You may not see those numbers no more because now gamers are going to be like, you know what, I'm going to hold off, I'm going to back up, and I'm going to wait a while. That's one. Number two, you could see a huge resurgence of the used game market. The $70 physical game can potentially bring GameStop back to life. This could resurrect GameStop once again, right? Because now with $70 games, you can have once again the market where those who are willing to buy the game at $70, they're going to buy the physical edition, bring it home, beat it, and then go back in and trade it in. And then if GameStop was smart, they will sell the games for $50. A $20 difference. So now, instead of a gamer going to a store buying a $70 game, they will buy a $50 game, saving themselves $20. And all $50 will go back to GameStop. Think about that. $70 games could save the GameStop industry, the used market industry, right? So the gaming industry could once again go back to screwing themselves over. All right. Now, GameStop's going to have $65 used games. Yeah, that is a joke, but I think they're going to make it worthwhile. So that way you could get that nice price, maybe even $60, right? But I think $50 to $55 is what they will do because they're hurting right now, right? But if they could come out and make a clean $55 on a game they already sold, right? They could come back and it could once again be $1 billion industry. So think about it. You know, GameStop sells a $70 game. You bring it back to them. They'll give you $25 towards a new game or whatever towards a new purchase. So the money stays within their ecosystem. But when they take that used game back on the shelf, they drop it for $55. Now a new owner's gonna be like, hey, I want this new game. And they'll be like, brand new, $70, used $55. That's a $15 difference. That's gonna sway a lot of people to buy the used version. You know? So the industry got to look at it that way, you know? So what do we got, right? We got a big dilemma. Game development is more expensive, right? But at the same time, this could create a resurgence of the used game market, you know, like never before, right? Because, you know, Amazon will jump in, Best Buy will jump in. They will all jump back in, right? Because they rather sell you a $55 used game than a $70 brand new game, right? Because that $70 brand new game, majority of the money goes back to the publisher. While a $55 used game, that's all theirs, right? All right. Leonidas says, you got to remember games cost $60 even 15 years ago, never sold the volume they did now. Most, if not all, games are littered with microtransaction price hike. Justified? No. Okay. Good point. So now, this is a huge dilemma. The industry needs the money, but now they could potentially screw themselves over. So how do we fix this? I got maybe a simple answer, right? How about if you need to raise the price of $70, how about you only raise the price of physical edition to $70? Since you're getting more material. You're getting the physical disc and you're getting the case, right? And obviously you have to split the money with whatever vendor is selling the physical game, which is Amazon, Best Buy, you know, GameStop, Walmart, whoever, right? But the digital games that you download directly to the store, that remains $60. So there, you're providing that $10 difference, right? If people are cool with still paying $60, fine. You can still pay $60, but you got to buy the digital edition. That's the $60 version. But if you really want a physical, that's the $70 edition, all because of the markup on the vendor and the materials, right? At the same time, do not push the same amount of physical discs that you normally would. You know, let's say for example you ship out 3 million physical discs. Well, reduce it to 2 million, right? Don't reduce a lot, you know, because by keeping the digital edition cheaper, you can expect more people to go digital than physical to save the $10, right? Think about that, right? So if a gamer really wants the physical, fine, it's $70, right? You don't want to pay the $70, go down it directly to 60. And I think that is the overall better balance of the situation. Because the reality is, if the physical is $70 and the digital is $70, right? These games are going to stay on the shelf. And you're going to be forced to do a price drop anyway. There's going to be a lot of gamers that won't be day one. Sure, you're going to have the hardcore day one, but not in the numbers, right? I'm going to tell you. Even I think The Last of Us 2 standard $70 will not have sold 4 million in 2 days or 3 days. I don't believe that. You understand what I'm saying? I honestly think the $70 could hinder sales. And I know, of course, the hardcore game is going to argue about game development, rising costs, rising prices, all that stuff. But to the casuals, you know, and even to some hardcore, right? Even from a hardcore perspective, let's be honest. It's not like gaming's perfect, right? How many day one patches we had to deal with, right? Day one, you know, imagine if Days Gone was $70. You know, there was a lot of glitches and a lot of updates that game had to go through for like the first few weeks, right? Imagine if that was $70, right? A lot of day one patches, a lot of glitches, a lot of broken stuff that has to get patched and patched and patched. And now it's $70? Man. That's a hard pill to swallow, I think, for most of us. So yeah, I don't see that. And then also kind of makes it harder to want to experiment into new titles. You know, you really gonna dig deep looking at certain games if you really want to drop $70 day one. You know what I mean? You really gonna be inspecting games. So I think even the hardcore, some of us are gonna critique and hold games to a higher standard for a small increment of $10. Caleb, $5. He goes, 1 or 2 devs need to stop dropping their prices 3 months after launch. I could see that's also a good. Thank you for the super chat. That's a good point. Maybe instead of raising the price to $70, keep the $60 price longer, right? Instead of like, you know, you sell a game for $60 and then a month later, unless it's flopping, you know, if it's flopping, then you got to do what you got to do to save, you know, make back some of the money as best you can. But if it's selling good, then leave it at $60 for a sustained longer period. Maybe that's a better option. Social joins. Thank you so much. He said, thank you, P-Rock. The podcasters don't get it. Mom ain't going to allow little Timmy to just drop a game in the shopping trolling when the game costs $30. That's true. Caleb, thank you for the super chat. And if these devs feel like their game is justified for $70 price hike, then I don't want to see you drop the price 3 months later, or I'm going to feel some type of way. Caleb makes a great point. You know, does it make sense if a game launches at $70, then a month later it's $55? Like, the game's only a month old and you already dropped it $15? That's going to cause people to force to wait, right? And I think if developers and publishers, mostly publishers, because those are, let's be honest, it's the publishers that are the bean counters, not the developers. Developers, they make the games and they get the budgets, but it's the publishers that are counting the beans, right? They're the ones that expect the money back, right? And if these publishers don't see big results the first week, they're going to assume the game flopped and failed, not knowing that at a higher price point, it's going to take slower and longer to achieve those metrics, right? And what could potentially happen is publishers will make this scenario saying, oh, this game flopped, that's it, close down the studio, we're never making this game no more. When in reality, it's just going to take longer because people are just not going to jump on $70 that quick. You know, it's going to be a minute, right? What else we got? There's $700 games on Xbox Live PSN right now, but that's like collector's editions, mad things, you know, and most of the time those games don't sell to the average guys. They're mostly the hardcore that wants the digital video book, digital content, the music soundtrack, stuff like that. At the end of the day, I'm still going to buy what I want to play, just as I do now. Change literally nothing for me. Well, BJ, it could potentially change things for you in the sense that there might be games, there might be new content that will never be created, you know, or studios that you love might get shut down because of the perceived failure of sales. So while it won't affect what you buy, which I agree, you got $70, you know, if you want it, you buy it, you know. But the question is, what's gonna be on the shelf for you to buy? You know what I'm saying? If in a $70 world, majority of the games are gonna copy Call of Duty and all those obvious games that sell well, and everybody's just gonna be making clones of that, you could be playing in a world where you're just playing nothing but Call of Duty clones, Rockstar clones, Far Cry clones, Ubisoft clones, and it's just clones over and over and over, you know. And a lot of devs probably don't want to risk new products, so they're just gonna make clones, and that's gonna suck, you know. I mean, we already, in my opinion, you know, this gen, I enjoyed this gen, but it seems like every gen that we go through, we actually get less and less new IPs from developers, or less amount of games for the developers. You know what I mean? It's just getting less, you know, and something like this can make it worse, you know. MK was good. David T, what's up? Damn, this thing boosted up to 93 users. Appreciate it, man. Just hit the like button while you're in here. And retweet this out. Let's get the crew up and going. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. All right. So a $70 next gen is gonna be interesting. I know some people mentioned back in the Super NES days there were cartridges at $70. Gotta remember, it's a different era. You know, PlayStation 1 changed a lot of things for gamers. It made gaming mainstream. It made gaming cool. Before PlayStation 1, it was a niche. It was a niche entertainment industry, you know, so there wasn't a lot of people, so things like $70 games and stuff like that didn't have a big impact on an industry that was niche. But right now, it's mainstream. There's a lot of gamers who are out there doing the mainstream thing. Vedra, yeah, I'm still in Germany, but I got one more week, and I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Sayonara, you know, but enjoyed Europe, man. Loved Europe. You know what I'm saying? And you, OBJ, you right. There are some clones out here, and there's people that get flax for ND, but I think it could get much worse. I mean, it could get real bad, or even worse, we get a ton of free to plays, just so they could do the microtransaction stuff, or Destiny clones. Like, oh my god, you know. So, like I said, I think a good way to do what we got to do is physical edition $70, keep the digital $60. It will lead more people to go digital, which means more money will go directly to the publisher, right? The extra $10 will cover those who want physical editions. Keep the physical edition quantity low. Do not launch. I would say launch only half of what you would normally do. Because let's say even if the physical editions run out, right? Because you didn't ship a lot. What you gonna call it? Even though that, you know, like, man, I lost my train of thought. Even though you didn't sell a lot of physical editions because, you know, most of it you didn't ship a lot. When people walk into a store and don't find a physical copy, they could be like, you know what? I'm gonna go get digital, and it's $60 cheaper. I mean, it's $10, $60, $10 cheaper, right? And that's ultimately what you want to do, right? And I think that's probably the better overall strategy. Yeah, Nintendo games, they always keep their games expensive. And the reason why Nintendo's able to do that, because they don't get a lot of third party. You know what I'm saying? They get a few. They've done a little bit better this gen. But imagine if they always got the Call of Duties, the Maddens, the 2Ks, the Battlefields, the Far Cries, the Cyberpunks, and they got all those games they won, right? There will be, you know, Switch had a lot of quality big titles. They would be forced to drop the price on their first party games simply because a lot of people would opt to play the third party, you know. But it's pretty rough over there, right? Indies won't be 70, true. Indie games won't be 70. It says, P-Rock, at least when you pay $70 cartridges, you got a full working game back in the day. That's true. $70 cartridges, the game had to work. There was no updates. You didn't get updates. Game had to work, period. It's crazy. Okay. I think, yeah, I mean, I feel what you're saying, OBJ. I can't believe everything else in life will go up in price, but video games, I definitely don't want to pay more, but I get it. And like I said, I get it too. I understand. I'm just looking at the overall industry itself, you know, because if a lot of casuals don't feel that $70 price, us hardcore is going to feel the effect on that. You know, with lower game sales, publishers getting nervous, you know, things could swiftly change. If Sony buys those studios from Warframe and all others, would be awesome. They can make third-party multiplayer games. Yeah, I should have had that. So that rumor of Sony potentially looking into buying the studio that made Warframe, and I think XCOM is the other game. I think, in my opinion, Warframe will remain a multi-plat on Xbox and whatever platform it is. I think it's too big to try to remove it. And I think Sony, if they did buy that studio, would want to use them to create a new free-to-play game that would be like a PlayStation and PC exclusive. And yes, I think they will put it on PC, especially if it's free-to-play. You know what I mean? Because I don't think they would look at free-to-play as a way to sell consoles. But I think they will use free-to-play as a consistent revenue source. I can see that. So, that's interesting. Guapzilla said, casuals don't buy next-gen systems day one. They're not part of this equation. Well, the long-term they will be. Because remember, every month that, when the console launches in November, every month you need people consistently buy the console, right? That's how the console fan base grow, right? And if games launch at $70, if that's the standard price, then that's not going to change. That's not going to change a year from now. That's not going to change 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now. You're talking $60, $70 for the rest of the gen, you know? And that's going to impact some casual users from hopping on, buying a lot of games, buying certain games. It could be interesting, right? Remember the CEO last year said they were considering putting multiplayer only games on PC too. Remember when the CEO of who? Sean Layden. Yes, he did make that remark. He's not there no more. So I don't know if he had a different philosophy as compared to what other people want to do. It's interesting. P-Rock, when you go back to the States, do you not need to be quarantined for 2 weeks? Yes, I have to be quarantined. Good question, Eddie. Yes. So when I arrive to California, I'm supposed to report to my unit the next day, and they're going to automatically place me on a 14-day quarantine. So like I said, this is why I said it's going to be a while before I could do anything, because I'll be on quarantine for 14 days in a hotel. Military will pay for it. But I can't do nothing for 14 days, you know. So after the 14 days is when I'm going to be able to look for an apartment, right? And it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. So let's see. What's the next topic I got on this? Unless anybody have more questions about the $70. The next question is, console stuck with 30 FPS games. All right. So all of you have been rocking out my channel for a while, right? Clearly you have. And if you love me, you will hit the like button. You know, if you love me. And you also retweet it out on your favorite social media. You know, Facebook groups, Twitter. I'm just saying, you know, I don't have a Patreon. I don't do none of that weird stuff, you know. I just ask that you guys hook me up in that manner. But consoles, these next generation consoles, RDNA 2, VRS, and all this weird stuff, and consoles looks like it's still going to have 30 FPS games. Maybe not a lot, maybe not as much as this gen. Maybe we'll get more 60 FPS games. Maybe we'll get 1440p options at 60 FPS as a compromise. Who knows, right? But if you notice on this channel, I don't talk a lot about tech. I don't go crazy over tech unless I feel it's something unique, right? I don't really talk about tech in the sense of frame rates and resolutions and graphical fidelities, right? If you guys notice that, I don't really go deep dive. The one thing I deep dived the most was the SSD, but that's because of a gameplay perspective and game design. That interested me, right? But not so much graphics or frame rates. You know, we're about to enter the 9th generation of gaming. And the one thing I learned over the last 8 generations is that developers and publishers are going to provide you the experience of what they're going to want to provide, right? And there's multiple reasons or factors into how they develop a game. Number one, if they feel graphics is more important than frame rate, due to the specific game that they design. Well, if the game is playable at 30, well, you're going to play the game at 30. We have plenty of games that are 30 frames, right? So they know gamers have no problem playing at 30 frames. So all the conversations on Twitter about 60, 60, 60 is the minority of hardcore. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying that, you know, having all these games run at 60 wouldn't be amazing. I'm not saying that. I would say it would be absolutely amazing if we can get all these games at 60. Even if it takes a performance mode, you know, checkerboard, reconstructed 4K. I don't care what you got to do. I would not mind it. But the absolute reality is 30 frame per second games have sold. And they have sold great. And the majority of gamers did not have a problem with it. And they will continue to buy 30 frame per second games, right? So the industry knows graphics sells, even at 30 frames. That's just a reality. Another factor is, you know, how much time they will need to optimize the game at 60 frames, right? Well, the time and money to optimize games at 60 frames comes down to the bean counters. It comes down to the publishers. If the publishers ain't willing to put up the bread or give the developers the time, guess what? You're going to be playing these games at 30 frames, right? Especially if these games are multiplats, right? You know, if they have to balance multiple systems to try to get 60 frames, and some systems can, some systems couldn't, some video cards can, you know, if they, you know, they try to do whatever, and they realize, you know what, it's just much cheaper and easier to lock it down at 30, then that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna lock it down at 30, and they're gonna give you all the graphics. You know, some games they have to do 60. Some games is not an option, like the Madden, the 2K, the Call of Duty, Battlefield, you know, a lot of FPS. You're going to get those 60 frames, but you might not get the best graphics, you know. Some games are easier to make good graphics, you know, like 2K's easy, Madden's easy, you know. Racing games, easy to get great graphical fidelity, you know. So all the things like that, you know, they'll do it. Fighters have to be 60 frames, so they understand that. But again, not easy to make a fighter graphically look good because it's just 2 characters on the screen, maybe up to 4 to 6 if you got the tag team type battle games, right? So they get that, right? But the reason why I don't talk about tech like that is because for all the reasons I just said, it's something that's up to the developers, and you really don't have control over that, right? And don't think just because you're on Twitter tagging execs that they're gonna care. You know, the funny thing is when I see them tag developers, sometimes the gamers don't understand it's not the developers. Maybe the developers would love to give you 60 frames. But if the beat counter says, hey, graphics sells, and put it at 30 so you could beef up the graphics, then, you know, that's what devs got to do. You know, they got hired, or they work for a boss, you know, they work for the publisher, and ultimately that's what they got to settle for, and that's what they got to do. Puertorock, when GTA 6 comes out and it launches first for the consoles and it's only 30 FPS, everybody copying it regardless. Exactly. You think GTA 6 is not going to sell just because Rockstar didn't push out 60? It might be 60. I hope it's 60. But if it comes out to be 30, that game is still going to sell millions because of the graphics. People are going to look at the graphics, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. You know? And that's just the reality. I said this time and time again, and this has nothing to do with Xbox, because of course I trigger a lot of Xbox fanboys on Twitter. You see me what I do out there, but on this channel and on the real, I'm gonna just be real. If you're honestly interested in the performance of the games, if you're honestly interested in the best performance, the best graphics, the best frame rates, it's no question PC. PC has that locked. That's the main thing about the PC. The main thing about the PC is what freedoms the gamers can do on that platform. For mods, emulation, the performances, the settings. There's just so much to that platform. And I understand the platform. It could be it could be expensive. Not as user friendly as consoles, right? I'm not saying that PC is not user friendly. It's just that it's not as user friendly as consoles. Consoles is more easier to deal with, but you're gonna have to pick a choice, what do you prioritize? Price and easier to use, or performance, and all the options that PC brings. That's just ultimately right there. Of course, I would love the games to be 60 or have performance options for 60. Of course, a lot of tech guys on YouTube saying, "Oh, it could do 60, it could do 60." Listen, these dudes don't make games, so I really listen to a YouTuber who don't make games talk about what something should do just because they see it somewhere else, right? My main thing for me is mostly the games themselves rather than the performance of the games, right? Of course, I don't want a game to run like crap, right? But as long as a game runs good, it's playable, at that point, it's the merit of the game itself, the gameplay, the content, what type of game it is, how is the game design, and is it fun to play? That's what I look for in a gaming platform, all right? But for those of you that are really performance heavy, you really might want to consider PC because it will be the platform to do what you want, right? And that's just starting off now, right? If you go 3 years into the future, 2022, 2023, 2024, PC will be far ahead of console once again in terms of performances, right? I firmly believe PC gamers will talk more in the next let's say by 2023, they're going to start talking a lot about 5K 60, right? 5K 60 is going to be the stopgap on the way to 8K. And there's monitors that are 5K monitors. And you're going to see PC gamers, they're going to be talking about that 5K. They're going to be doing 5K 60 over the next couple of years. And consoles will be stuck at 4K fighting for 60. 4K 60, 4K 30. But yet these PC gamers pretty much, and of course it's going to be the top end PC gamer, but still. It's there if you really wanted it, right? You're not going to get those options on consoles. Consoles will never do 5K, even though they're like, 8K. I don't know. They ain't doing that bullshit. It's crazy, right? So we just got to see. Ultimately, the performance of the console is going to come down to the developers. Hopefully, at least, performance options so we could play these games at 60 is available across all games on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Hopefully, is a default choice that's easily accepted and easily adopted, and it becomes just a normal feature, a normal option on every game. If the game can't hit 4K 60 or reconstructed 4K 60, then give us a performance option. We'll tone down the resolution to 1440p, max settings, 60 frames, and that's it, right? At the very least. And I think everybody will be at least happy with that, right? I think so, right? So let's get into the Q&As before we move on, because I need to boot up my PlayStation and continue my journey on Neo, playing Neo 2. Had to take a break because just like any Souls game, after a while it gets frustrating. Big Cloud Gaming, what's up? Thank you for rocking out. All right, and while we see these questions come up, I want to say thank you for rocking out to the channel. If you don't mind, if you could hit the like button and retweet this out send this out to all your favorite multi social media platforms. I would truly appreciate it. And let's get up with these Q&A. What we got up in here? What's up, Billy? What's up, Dylan? Truly appreciate everybody rocking out here live. And just for so everybody knows, my last week here in Germany, getting ready to move back to the U.S., specifically California. Gonna get me some good Mexican food. Cannot wait. Enjoy my time here in Germany, though. Love my time here in Europe. Love the countries I visited. Pre-rock, where you get your haircut on the base. They have the base barbershop. Not that really good. That's another thing. I can't wait to have a regular civilian barber. So that's gonna be another journey. You know, which are the good barbers out in California? You know what I'm saying? Because I really don't like I didn't go out in town for a haircut because getting a haircut out here is expensive. I'm like, man. What are you playing right now? I'm playing Neo 2. Loving it. I love that game. We will welcome you back to Cali with open arms. Thank you. Yeah, Eddie, the barbershop out here. Woo! But I can't wait, go back to a regular barbershop, find a barbershop in the hood. Need to find me a Dominican barber. See if they got any of those in California. What do you think these dumb Last of Us haters who haven't even beat the game? I loved it, by the way. I love the game too. I'm gonna tell you, it comes down to the NTSJW. A lot of people. Well, it's come to a couple of things. A lot of people are really over exaggerating at what happened to Joel, and I don't know why. I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna say some spoilers. I was supposed to have a spoiler cast, but it didn't work out because some people were busy. Some people didn't get to beat the game yet. A few did, a few haven't. So I wasn't able to get the crew together. But little spoiler. So I think everybody knows by now that that Joel dies, right? And I think people looked at Joel like Master Chief, like Solid Snake, like Kratos, a character that lives forever, right? And the fact that dude's dead, it broke that illusion. But what's great about that death is it made the game seem like, you know what? The world of The Last of Us is just what it is, And I said it, and if you looked at my review, which I invite you to look at my video review, there's no good guys in The Last of Us. It's just people. It's just people who live in a world where a disaster happened, a plague, right? It's kind of like The Walking Dead, and day by day, people are just surviving. Joel wasn't a good guy. He made a good decision, right? And even some people question his decision, right? Some people question, when you look at the reality, Joel, when you look at it this way, when you beat The Last of Us, the first one, my man says, Sharif, you just spoiled it for me, bro. Shut up. Shut up. My man Sharif trying to troll me on here. If you on my channel, chances are you watch a lot of podcasts. There's no way you don't know by now. I mean, ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to say you didn't know Bruce Willis was dead in the movie Sixth Sense. Right? Like, nah. But when you look at The Last of Us 1, right? And Joel made the decision to keep Ellie alive. Of course, as a gamer, yeah, Joe, kill them all, yeah, right? But when you really think about it, Joe screwed over the world. He screwed over the world. Like, think of how many more people are going to die because of that decision. Can you think about all the people that will continue to be infected, right? He screwed over the world. Talk about, like, besides killing the doctor, which ended up, right? He screwed over the world big time, right? Big time. You know what I'm saying? Like, bad. The world could have been saved. Like, completely saved, right? And Joel chose something. So now you have to ask a question, right? Now, and let me ask you this question. Did Joel save the world because of Ellie? Or did he save the world because of his own selfish need? Did he need Ellie alive? Because now he saw her as his daughter, as a replacement for his daughter. You see what I'm saying? Billy Akira. Yep, you just said it. We both said at the same time, Ellie became his surrogate daughter, and after losing his actual daughter, couldn't go through with that. So was this really about helping Ellie or himself, where he couldn't go through that pain again? And that, and this question, and it was funny, Last of Us 2 is so impactful, I never asked that question after I beat The Last of Us 1. After I beat The Last of Us 1, I looked at it as a cliche ending. Great ending, but yeah, of course, you're going to go in, screw that. You're not going to kill a girl for your own selfish mean, blah, blah, blah. But after playing The Last of Us 2, seeing a different perspective, seeing what he did, seeing the other side of the story of what the people were trying to do, they made Marlene look like a bad guy, a bad girl, right? That was willing to kill Ellie, but even she questioned what they were going to do was ethical, and you saw that in The Last of Us 2. It made me look back at The Last of Us 1, and I'd be like, did Joel really save Ellie to save Ellie for her? Or did he save her for himself? Because he didn't want to go through that pain. He didn't want to go through it twice, right? And I think that's what makes the beginning of the game and his daughter's death impactful. Because now you get to look at the mind of Joel, right? Right? So Joel, in my opinion, to save himself of the agony, he condemned the world. He said, screw the whole world. Think about it, the whole entire planet. F them. You know what I'm saying? My man pulled the Dave Chappelle. Well, you know what? F them. That's what, And you got to be like, wow. So, The Last of Us, there's no good guys in The Last of Us. It's just people surviving, doing their thing, making it day by day, trying to make good choices, but ending up making bad choices. And depending on the bad choice you make, it'll come back to haunt you. And that's exactly what happened with Joel, right? I know the biggest complaint about, for those who could accept his death, was how he went out. Oh, but that's not Joel. Joel will never do that. Joel's the man. He's not gonna let up. So let me cover down on Joel, right? Let's talk about the story of two Joels, right? We got the story of two Joels right now, right? The first Joel is The Last of Us 1 Joel, right? So let's talk about that Joel. 5 years younger, right? Because The Last of Us 2 took place 5 years later. 5 years younger, living in Boston in a quarantine zone where he was in the game. He was running guns, running whatever. The game starts out with you chasing the guy, going after the guy who stole your guns. So he was deep in the game, ready to kill people. People knew who he was, living in a kill or be killed town, surrounded by federal troops who are just killing anybody, right? Who's infected and messing with anybody, forcing people to get on their knees, take tests. So he's living in a rough town, right? And he doesn't give a damn about nothing or nobody. He didn't even want to take the job, with the girl. He's like, whatever, he just wants to do what he wanted to do, living in the streets, smuggling, in the thick of it. He in the game. This is Joel in the game, right? So when you played as Joel in The Last of Us 2, he living the rough life. He bout it. He in the game. He gives no F's. He gives no care. He didn't even care about Ellie. Whatever, right? That's Joel in part 1. Joel in part 2, he's not living so rough anymore. He's living in the town of Jackson. He spends his day playing a guitar, drinks some coffee. If he goes out to do a patrol, he's killing infected from long distance with long distance rifles, backed by a couple of people, 3, 4, 5, 6 crews. Washes his clothes, plays his guitar, creates some music, spends birthday parties. Friday, hey, gonna go down to the dance. He attends dances. Everybody's jumping for joy, electricity, running water, cooked food, clean couches and beds and comforters, living a comfortable life, getting fat. And 5 years is a difference. When you have 5 years to your life, depending on what point in your life, 5 years could be a lot. You know, when you go from 20 to 25, not a big deal. 25 to 30, you might even be stronger. 30 to 35, you might peak. Then 35 to 40, you'd be like, man, my back hurts when you wake up in the morning. 40 to 45, you're noticing you're peeing more often than you should. 45, 50, you might be getting diabetes. Might have to wear some glasses. You're deteriorating. 5 years, you're at a certain age, you're deteriorating, right? And that's the Joel part 2. Not as sharp as he was, you know? And it was just a bad luck that he ran into the person that wanted to kill him. It was just bad luck. Welcome to the world of The Last of Us. No heroes. Your luck runs out. And you get clubbed in the head with a golf club. It is what it is, right? But to me, to go back to the original question, when I think about the people who are hating about it, I don't think they understand the potential of how well a mature story that is, you know? It's not meant to be a Halo game or a Metal Gear game or a God of War game or an Uncharted game where a guy will go kill 10,000 people and still survive. You know, he's not Nathan Drake. He's not Indiana Jones. He's not Lara Croft. The game ended up being just a tale of nobody's a good guy, nobody's a bad guy. It's just good decisions, bad decisions. And if you make a bad decision, does it get, do you get cut up? Does it catch up with you? So I enjoyed it for what it was. And it's a good, mature outlook and a surprising aspect of the traditional sequel that we gamers are normally used to. Because when we think of sequel, we think of trilogy. Do I hope we get a trilogy? I hope so too. I just don't know what direction they're going to go in. But it'll be interesting, right? But I think there's rumors of Naughty Dog getting ready for new IP for PlayStation 5. So I really want to see what that is. I think that's going to be cool. Good topic on The Last of Us. One thing I will say, you seen all those crazy attacks on the actress, death threats and all that? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's just sad. That's insane. That the critique people on the internet do too much. Like they do too much. Like half those dudes ain't doing nothing. They ain't hurting nobody. They need to stop acting so internet tough. Like, stop it. Stop saying dumb stuff on the internet. Especially attacking the actresses and stuff like that. It's just nonsense. It's embarrassing seeing some gamers the way they act. It's absolutely embarrassing. It's crazy. Guys are giving those people giving gamers such a terrible name. Embarrassing the hell out of us. It's just crazy. It's one thing to critique, even harshly critique. You could say, oh, this is the biggest piece of donkey crap I have ever seen in my life. Fine. That's just a very harsh criticism. But you ain't got to get into, threats and hope bad things happen to people, wishing on them the worst. It's just nonsense. It is embarrassing seeing that trash. Like, man, you guys have no friends. Like, to me, when I see that stuff, I see that as people. I think it's safe to say, can we all admit that there's a lot of people in the gaming community that have mental illness? I think I think at this point you could tell when you talk to them on Twitter, when you chat on Twitter, you see their replies, you see their comments. Now we got people with mental health issues. We got people with really bad issues. They don't realize the dumb stuff they say. Their ethics are out of whack. Their thought processes is just doesn't even make sense. You start to wonder, did these people even pass 5th grade? Like, the stuff that they read, they argue points that you never made. Like, you're like, what the hell is you talking about? Like, is it safe to say, without us really knowing, that there are people with mental issues and they're in the gaming community in the crumb side, right? It's crazy. It's just embarrassing, and it's absolutely crazy on what we've seen here, right? So I don't think anybody that works in the gaming industry deserve that type of criticism or to be talked to like that. You know, it doesn't help, right? You know, those type of threats, wishing harm on people, no one's gonna listen to you. No one's gonna care about your opinion on a game when that's how you talk. No one's gonna take you serious. No one's ever gonna take you serious. You'll most likely get blocked, you know. And the more people that block you, the less your voice will be relevant. And to be honest, the way they talk, their voices aren't relevant anyway. It's just absolutely crazy, right? Let's see. I had crap on Facebook from some of my late husband's friends telling me to get over losing my husband to TT. What? Oh my God. To get over losing your husband. Oh my God. Like, it's Ice Queen Gaming 1. I'm sorry for your loss. I know it was 2 years ago, but still, my condolences. You know, that was your husband, first and foremost. All right. So that pain doesn't get easier, right? And that's just embarrassing. Gamers, I mean, people on the internet, you know, in my opinion, people who act like that on the internet don't like their real life. You know what I'm saying? They don't like their real life. They don't like who they really are. Because I guarantee that's not how they act in real life towards people. I guarantee in a real conversation, sitting across a person that's face to face, they don't say those words, right? So they don't really enjoy who they are, and they want to be this fake persona on the internet because their real life persona just sucks, right? And that's just how it is, man. Because, like, I'm not going to talk to a person on the internet that I wouldn't talk in a way in real life. You know what I'm saying? It's just embarrassing that we would do that to ourselves. It's absolutely embarrassing, right? That we come to this point. You know, internet, it's a great thing with the access to knowledge and information, and the way we can manage our lives and get things done. But at the same time, you got dudes who just talk and say shit and they're not about that life. Crazy. That's absolutely insane, right? So I think, let's see, any more questions? Before I get out of here. I think we could keep it moving then. Before we go, let's see if somebody could bring up a new topic. No one bring up the Smash Brothers tournament. We staying away from that. All right, we not talking about that on this channel. Nah, dog. Woo. I been said them dudes is different, right? When they did those creating stages for Super Smash Brothers, and I seen them weird. The Ruhan, what's up, my brother? When I seen them Cyberpunk downgraded, that's a good topic. That's a great topic. Thank you. When I saw them, P-Rock, okay, my last question. Can you stop capping on Twitter? Oh, hell nah. I'm out there to hurt feelings on Twitter. But when I saw them weird stages of what them dudes were doing on Twitter or in Animal Crossing, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yo, Super Smash Brothers. Yo, them dudes is predators, bro. Yo, don't send your kids to them tournaments. ¿Y qué lo que el Matador? What's up? Yo, you got children, and your kid be like, hey, mommy, daddy, I'm not fighting Smash Brothers. Slap them across the face. In fact, get rid of Super Smash Brothers. Don't let them play it. Protect your kids. Yo. If you got kids and they want to be down with Smash Brothers Tournament, slap them across their face and ground them. Right? They have no idea. Yo, some Jeffrey Epstein trash going on in that place. Yo, slap your kid across the mouth. Right? They don't know what they're asking. Yo, collect those games and throw them away. Right? Don't let them play Fortnite. Yo, it's insane. Yo, we're just gonna leave it at that. Hide your kids from them. Them dudes is weirdos, man. Right? Cyberpunk 27 downgrades. Yo, they cutting a lot of stuff out. I'm like, god damn. Now you can't see your character in third person. You can't even customize your car. No wall running. The hand-to-hand fighting looks not even, I wouldn't even call it mid. Like, yo. Like, damn, bro. Like so much is gone from that game, right? And I can see why they keep delaying it. Like, this doesn't sound good. Like, I mean, I'm gonna play the game on the PS5. I'm not gonna play it on the PS4. It just doesn't sound right the way things are going, right? And hopefully, man, because you know, I like CD Projekt Red, right? They do a lot of great things for gamers, right? When they sell you DLC, they're like game themselves, right? And they give out a lot of free stuff. Yo, they do good. You gotta admit with CD Projekt Red, they have done good stuff for the gamers in terms of how they manage on post DLC content, right? I hope this game don't screw them over. P-Rock, what are your predictions for Xbox July show? Whew. All right, I'm going to say it like this. If the July show is simply just showing games from Xbox, from Microsoft, and it's about the games, then I'm going to have a little less standard, right? I'm going to have a lower standard for it. Because now they're just talking about games that's going to be on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, maybe Lockhart, and PC. Okay. If the Xbox July show is about Xbox Series X, there's going to be some standards to there. Like, for one, if the show's about Xbox Series X, are all the games they're showing running on the Xbox Series X? If it's about that. If it's just an Xbox show, then yeah, you show games on PC because it'll be on PC. All right, whatever. But if you're trying to make this into an Xbox Series X event to show off the Xbox Series X, then the games need to be running on the Series X. Don't put that shit on PC. So that's number one. Number two, the amount of first party versus third party content. Nothing wrong with third party content. But if you show like Halo Infinite, right? Maybe Forza, and then enhance Xbox One games, and then the rest of the show is third party. Really? And go ahead, don't show Fable at this show. That's going to be a huge L as well. If they don't show Fable at this show, that's a L. And I'm going to tell you why. In the time frame, gamers, especially Xbox gamers, have been asking for Fable. Bring back Fable, bring back Fable, bring back Fable. Throughout that whole time frame that they're asking, Sony has provided Horizon Zero Dawn as a new IP, right? We played Horizon Zero Dawn, and now Sony announced Horizon sequel, Forbidden West, and they plan to launch it 2021. If we don't see a Fable trailer in that mother, bruh, yo, I swear, if they botch this up, if they try to make that event to an Xbox Series event, but games still show on PC, if they don't show Fable, grand opening, grand closing, Yo, yo, oh my God. Oh my God, I don't know. I'll tell you what, PlayStation Nation is going to thrash these Xbox fans. Yo, it's crazy. PlayStation shows are like walking in an amusement park, entertainment. While Xbox shows are like walking in a trailer park. Trailer after trailer. Oh, wow. Yo, I'm going to tell you. He said at least a JPEG of Fable, bro. Like a JPEG. At least a picture. Oh my God. Yo. That shit's going to be, I don't know. We're just going to see, right? When is that show supposed to be? Do they have a date? It's like the 23rd or something? Right? The 23rd? Or whatever. Right? Beats made a good point. Facts. They've been talking about Fable for at least 3, I think even longer. And still ain't even confirmed. I'm telling you, if they don't announce Fable at this July show, that's an L. That's a huge L. Because how you still don't even get a Fable trailer, but PlayStation Nation is about to get the sequel to Horizon in 2021. We getting 2 RPG. Like, yo. The 23rd. Okay. That's the day after my birthday. All right. So we're about to find out. We'll see. I wish Microsoft the best because, you know, the one thing we always ask is for Microsoft, like, bruh, stop making crap games. Like, just stop, man. Stop making passion projects. Stop with all this weird stuff, man. You know what we want. We want some banging IPs. Make some big banging IPs. Like, stop with the nonsense, man. Stop with this weird stuff that y'all doing. Like, your first-party studio. Have some standards. Like, come on, man. Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for 360 and the original Xbox pushing out Halo, Forza, and Gears, this Xbox brand would have nothing, bro. Like, Xbox One created nothing this gen. Like what title are they going to be pushing forward? You know, what big IP? Sea of Thieves? Maybe. I guess Sea of Thieves. Oh, boy. So we'll see about that July event. All right? It is what it is, right? It is what it is, man. Top Dog, my man. What's going on, right? So anyway, before I break out, my last week here in Germany, heading back to the United States, it's going to be a minute before I fully get invested. But while I am there, I want you to guys know I'm going to bring back, obviously, consistently the 60 Frames No Lag podcast. I will let you know what date and time, you know, because I got to talk to the rest of the dudes that like to hang out and rock out so we can be consistent. So we're going to keep that consistent. Eventually, you're going to see me. I'll get a desktop, and, you know, I'm going to dive into PC and gaming, but at the same time, bring quality video content and stuff like that. Hook up. Just get a all better round, improved channel, improve capabilities, improve content. The one thing I will tell you I won't do because I just don't want to do it is things like Patreon and lockout things to pay members and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that because, you know, I just prefer just to have everybody have access to everything and just rock out with the channel and just be part of the growth. SOCOM announcement next month, PS event, book it. My man, $2 super chat, I'm out of door. That's a bold prediction. I'm going to hold you to it, dog. Would be nice, right? It would be nice, right? But that's it. So channel growth, channel improvement, better content. But it's going to be a little bit, you know, I leave next week. Then when I get to California, 14 days quarantine, look for apartment, get my internet set up, furniture, get the battle rhythm of my job, see what I got to do. But ultimately, get the crew together, keep it consistent. And I want you all with me throughout the whole journey, just like you have been and seen the channel growth. And we're just going to get this popping, right? Because next gen is coming. And we're going to do our thing. We're all going to enjoy some gaming, all right? So with that, again, if you're new to the channel and you rocked out, or if you're watching this as a recorded video and you're new, hey, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notification, hit the like button, right? Everybody else, hey, take care. You know, it's been a great ride. And I'll see you soon. And this is your boy Puertorock77. And remember, I'm your only friend in these YouTube streets. Nobody got you like I got you. All right? You guys take care. Peace out and love you guys, right? You stay safe, right? Make sure you are safe and your friends and family are safe, right? Peace.